The Galactic Council had made their decision. 20 cycles of deliberation, countless simulations, and the collective wisdom of 47 species had led to this moment. The humans would be sent to Carvoth-9, a Class-15 Deathworld, as punishment for their defiance of the non-interference directive. Ambassador ZX Thrall's crystalline form shimmered with satisfaction as he watched the human transport vessel descend toward the nightmare planet below. "Let this serve as a lesson," he broadcast to the assembled delegates. "No species, regardless of their peculiar resilience, can survive a Class-15. On the view screen, Carvoth-9 rotated slowly, a world of perpetual storms, predators that hunted in packs of hundreds, and gravity that would crush most sapient species within hours. The atmosphere itself was toxic, laced with compounds that dissolved organic tissue. It was where the Council sent the worst criminals, the irredeemable, those meant to disappear from history. Elsa gripped the armrest of her crash seat as the transport shuddered through Carvoth-9's atmosphere. Beside her, John checked his equipment with methodical precision, his face betraying no emotion. They were among the 200 humans sentenced to this hell. Scientists, engineers, soldiers, and civilians whose only crime had been saving a primitive species from extinction without council approval. 3 minutes to surface, the automated system announced in sterile tones. Elsa glanced at John. "Any last words of wisdom?" John's lips curved into a slight smile. "Yeah, remember what the Council forgot." "What's that?" "Earth is a Class 12 death world. We evolved there." The transport slammed into Carvoth-9's surface with bone-jarring force. Immediately, the screaming winds assaulted the hull, and through the viewports, they could see shapes moving in the crimson mist. Massive, predatory, hungry. Within the first hour, the Council's monitoring stations detected something unexpected. The humans weren't dying. They were building. Elsa coordinated the construction teams with sharp efficiency, her voice cutting through the howling wind. "Shelters first, then defensive perimeter. John, I need those sensor arrays online now." John worked alongside a team of engineers, his hands steady despite the caustic rain that would have melted through most species' protective gear. Human ingenuity, forged in Earth's crucible, manifested in rapid adaptation. They used local materials. The same toxic minerals that poisoned other species became components in their filtration systems. When the first wave of Carvoth's apex predators attacked on day 3, the Council observers leaned forward in anticipation. These creatures, the Vrax, had never failed to overwhelm their prey. They were 8 meters of claws, fangs, and pack intelligence, the ultimate killing machines of a killing world. The humans fought back. Elsa stood atop the makeshift wall, a plasma rifle adapted from salvaged ship components braced against her shoulder. "Hold the line!" she shouted as the Vrax charged through the storm. The humans didn't just defend, they studied, learned, predicted. John's sensor arrays provided real-time data on Vrax hunting patterns, weaknesses in their armored hides, frequencies that disrupted their pack coordination. The battle lasted 6 hours. When it ended, the Vrax retreated. For the first time in recorded history, prey on Carvoth-9 had not only survived, but had inflicted casualties that made the predators reconsider. Ambassador ZX Thrall's confidence wavered. "This is irregular, but they cannot sustain this. The environment alone will break them." By week 2, the humans had established a thriving settlement. They called it Hope's End, a sardonic joke that resonated with their dark humor. Elsa managed agriculture projects, coaxing earth crops to grow in Carvoth's hostile soil, using techniques developed during humanity's early colonization efforts. John led expeditions into the wilderness, mapping terrain and cataloging species with the fearless curiosity that defined his kind. The council watched in growing unease as the humans did more than survive. They thrived. They hunted the wracks, turning predator into prey. They harvested the toxic storms, converting atmospheric poisons into fuel. They carved civilization from chaos with bloody-minded determination. On day 30, something unprecedented occurred. The humans made first contact with another group of exiles, Krell shock troopers, warrior species sentenced to Carvoth 9 3 cycles prior. The Krell had been reduced to 17 survivors, living in caves, barely clinging to existence. Elsa extended her hand to the Krell pack leader. "We're building something here. You're welcome to join us." The Krell, whose species viewed mercy as weakness, stared at the human settlement in disbelief. Walls that defied the storms. Fields of growing food. Lights that pushed back the perpetual darkness. These humans had done in 1 month what the Krell couldn't do in 3 years. Within 2 months, Hope's End had a population of 317. The humans had not only survived, but had begun rescuing other exiles, offering them something the Council never intended for Carvoth 9 to have: hope. Ambassador Zex Thrall convened an emergency session. "They're transforming a Deathworld into a colony. This is unacceptable. We must intervene." But Councillor Veshna, one of the older voices, raised a membrane in objection. "By what law? We sentenced them to survive or perish. They chose survival. Brilliantly." John stood beside Elsa on the walls of Hope's End, watching the crimson sun set over their impossible city. "You know they're watching us." "Let them watch," Elsa replied. "Let them see what happens when you underestimate humanity." 3 months after their arrival, the humans transmitted a message to the Galactic Council. It was brief, delivered by Elsa with John standing beside her, both of them silhouetted against the thriving settlement they'd built from nothing. "You sent us here to die," Elsa said calmly. "You thought a Class-15 Deathworld would break us, but you forgot something fundamental about humans. We come from a Deathworld. Every predator, every poison, every natural disaster you threw at us, we've faced worse at home. We didn't just survive Earth. We conquered it. Carvoth 9 is just another challenge, another home." John stepped forward. "We're not asking for pardon. We're not asking to return. We're informing you that as of today, Carvoth 9 is under human jurisdiction. Any species you exile here will be offered sanctuary. Any who need hope will find it here." The transmission ended with a view of Hope's End, a gleaming settlement carved from nightmare, where multiple species now lived together, protected by human ingenuity and determination. In the council chambers, silence reigned. The truth settled over them like a cold weight. They hadn't sent humans to a death world as punishment. They'd given humans a death world to colonize, and humanity, as always, had spoken with the only language the universe truly understood: survival against impossible odds, and the stubborn refusal to accept defeat. Ambassador Zex Thrall's crystalline form dimmed. Hope hadn't died when humanity spoke. Hope had been born in their defiance, grown in their resilience, and now burned bright enough to be seen across the galaxy. On Carvoth 9, Elsa and John returned to their work, building tomorrow from the ruins of yesterday, proving once again that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't technology or tactics. It was the absolute refusal to give up.